On today's video, we're going to be doing the final reveal and playthrough of the Lil Rocker custom Telecaster build I've been working so hard on. It's finished, and today we're going to check it out. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Tony. This is Addicted to Gear. We're still here. I still have a head cold, but we're going to push through. Today I wanted to showcase the Lil Rocker Telecaster that I've been working so hard on. I hope you guys have been following along. It's finally done. It's put together, and today I want to showcase it here for you. We're going to be playing it, and we're going to be looking at the final build. So as you guys know, building your own guitars is a lot of fun. It's definitely a worthwhile experience. I highly recommend it. I've been doing it for a while and I can't say enough good things about it. It's a learning experience. You really do better understand what makes a guitar sound good, and you better understand all of the components that go into a guitar. After a while, you really understand where the tone gets affected by the individual components, where you can save money, where you shouldn't save money, all those great things. So if you haven't already built your own guitar and you think you can do it, you should definitely go ahead. It definitely will be worthwhile. So this guitar build all started with a desire to own a custom shop, double bound candy apple red Telecaster. Those things go for an arm and a leg and a kidney, so I figured instead of going through surgery, I would just perhaps look for the components and parts to put my own guitar together. So I stumbled on a really nice body from Guitar Fetish. This body was about $99 or so, very affordable. It's probably already out of stock, but I will put the link in the comments below for you guys in case they're still available and you do want to grab one. I'm very happy with this body. The finish on it is great, aside from the fingerprints, obviously, but it's a great alder body with a great candy apple finish on it. The candy apple has some sparkle, which you can see in the sunlight or when it's reflecting the lights off the stage, which is beautiful. Getting a candy apple body like this in a double bound format is really difficult, guys. It really is hard to get an affordable version of this. So I opted for the Guitar Fetish body, and I'm pretty happy with it. There wasn't anything major wrong with it. The weight is good. The finish was nice. The only snag that I did have was the shipping cost, which was a little bit excessive. Because I am in Canada, but if you're in the States, you probably won't have that issue. So that being said, the alder body was the starting point for this build. I went out and I got a Guitar Anatomy neck, and this Guitar Anatomy neck is really nice because it is made of roasted maple and it has a really nice dark fretboard on it. And I thought the combination looked really great. I went ahead and I sprayed the back of the neck with a tinted lacquer, and I think that added to the sort of vintage mojo overall, and I'm glad I did that. The fretboard is a 9.5 radius, which I like. It feels really good. It's not a vintage radius, which is actually more rounded. It's just on the border of being kind of vintage and modern. I like that a lot. And that in combination with the bigger frets, these are medium jumbo frets, I think make the guitar really easy to play. Of course, I had to go with a bone nut, which I shaped and slotted myself to make sure that everything was set up the way I wanted it to be. And of course, I had to create a custom headstock water slide logo, which I did. The Lil Rocker turned out really well and makes this guitar sort of like a custom build. I could have put a Fender decal on here or something from a well-known brand, but I decided it would be better just to go with my own. So the Lil Rocker is the official name that this guitar is going to be christened with, and I think there's a good reason for it, because it does actually rock. Now, as far as the tuners go, I went with a set of locking tuners. And it's not because I like the functionality of having the locking capabilities. I really like the locking tuners because they're heavier. So they give the neck and the headstock a little bit more mass, which I think gives the guitar a little bit more sustain. Don't quote me on that, it's not scientifically proven, but I do think it adds to the sustain of the guitar somewhat. So I'm happy I went with those, plus I already had them, so it saved me some money. I didn't have to go out and buy a new set. Now the pick guard on this guitar is a Parchment pick guard, which I think works really well with the color. And the heart and soul of this guitar are the pickups. These are a set of pickups from Mr Glyn, and these are the Cruel Mistress pickups, which I think sound really, really good. I'll give you a taste of that in a second. We'll pump some dirty tones and some clean tones through some noodling so you can hear what they sound like. But first, I wanted just to say why they sound so good. So the neck pickup in this guitar sounds really nice. It's got a nice rounded warm tone with a little bit of squawk, which I do like when you're bending the strings. You can definitely hear that. The bridge pickup definitely has more bite to it, which I like. So you can get a nice mellow tone out of the guitar, and at the same time you can push it and really rock out with it. So the sounds I'm going to let you hear is sort of just a little bit of dirt, but you can go well beyond that if you want. Other than that, I didn't go crazy with the circuit. The three-way switch is pretty standard. Tone, volume. The only other thing that I added in the circuit was a treble bleed, so that when you turn back the volume knob, things don't get muddy or dark. You retain the top end, which I think is super important for a Telecaster. Beyond the looks, which I think looks stunning, I think it also sounds great. So let's jump right into those sound samples. I'll noodle some things on the dirty channel and also give you a little bit of clean tone so you can hear that. I think you can hear how good these pickups sound, clean and dirty. They really have a lot to offer. You can even get a really nice typical Telecaster twang out of it. After all, it is a Telecaster. But these Cruel Mistress pickups really do the job. I like how well they hang with the compensated brass saddles that I installed on this guitar build. I went with brass because I feel brass is slightly warmer than steel. Steel does have a little bit of a harsher top end to it, which I sometimes don't like in a Telecaster. Brass is a little bit more mellow, but it has a really nice immediate attack, so you don't lose the immediate attack on the strings with brass. And the fact that they're compensated means I can dial them in very accurately compared to just regular rounded barrel type saddles. My wife could rest easy and sleep at night knowing that I'm not going to sneak out and buy a custom shop Telecaster and spend $6,000 or $7,000. This guitar definitely scratched that itch for me. And if you haven't already tried building your own guitar, you definitely should at least once, because you're going to learn so much from it, and it's going to be your guitar. You put your blood, sweat, and tears in it. It's your custom build. You're going to bond with the guitar and really enjoy it for a long time, you know. So definitely try it out. I'm not just blowing smoke here. It's worthwhile, guys. Trust me. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this reveal and following along with the build as it was progressing. If you haven't seen those videos yet, go back in my archive, check them out. They're all there. If you like what we're producing here in terms of content, then please consider subscribing to the channel. It definitely helps us out. Hit the little bell icon. Make sure you hit all when you hit the bell. Otherwise, you won't get all of the notifications. You might miss out. We are also here live every Sunday on Addicted to Gear. So if you don't already know, we have a live show every Sunday where we talk about gear and guitars with a great group of other gear addicted aficionados, just like you and me. So please join in on the fun. If you have any questions and you want to add to, you know, our love of gear, Addicted to Gear live Sunday show is where that all happens. So you're invited. Please take advantage and join us. That's it for now. I'm Tony. This has been Addicted to Gear. Stay tuned for more.